As many of you know and have heard, Farming Smarter is headed to Germany this November. The dates are the 6th to the 15th, and we'll spend 5 nights in Braunschweig, which is about an hour, just under an hour out of Hanover, which is where the trade fair will take place. And then we'll have 3 nights in Berlin. Something that we've learned from previous trips, and any of those that were on the Montana tour will tell you that there was way too much packed in, so sometimes too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So we've kept the activities fairly low for this trip so that there's lots of time to do as you please, and we encourage you to take in as much or as little as you choose. If you don't want to join us for all the activities, it's not mandatory. So this is what we have planned. The first day obviously is strictly travel. It's a fairly long jaunt. Day 2 we'll get into Hanover and then transfer by train into Braunschweig and check into the hotel. You'll have the remainder of the day to do with as you choose. We'll get together for a group dinner in the restaurant at the hotel, kind of as a briefing, and go over what's going to happen in the next few days. The third day we'll take a train down to the fairgrounds it's just south of Hanover, and you'll have the whole day to enjoy the trade fair and do as you choose. This day is a preview day, what they consider, so it's mainly for investors and the trade press and the exhibitors themselves. So we will have much less other visitors to compete with, so you'll have a better chance of talking to some of the other guys there that you have interest in. And the following day you'll have an exciting trip to Wolfsburg, the VW factory. When I initially heard of this, I was like, I care. Why would I work like the simple car manufacturer? But it's actually the largest car manufacturing plant in the world. They have 5 square kilometers of factory, and it seems very interesting. So there'll be a 1-hour guided tour, and the remainder of the time you'll have to explore all the facilities on your own. And then again in the afternoon and evening you'll have time to do with as you choose. Day 5 we'll visit Einbeck, and KWS is in Einbeck. For those of you that don't know, KWS is one of the 4 leading plant breeding companies in the world. They're represented in 70 countries, and they've been doing it for over 150 years. And we've been told it's a very interesting visit, so we're going to go there and then spend the rest of the day in Einbeck to tour around that city. The last day 6 in Braunschweig will also go back to Agritechnica to explore the facilities. And again, if you don't want to go back for a second day, you have that day to visit and do with as you choose. So as I mentioned, you don't have to do any of this, or you can do all of it. Some of the things that we've come up with include the historic city center in Braunschweig. There's a castle square where you'll find a 12th century cathedral where Henry the Lion is buried, another castle, which I won't even try and pronounce because my German is not very good, and then a number of other places, including this Happy Busy house, and obviously they have some exceptional pubs that I'm sure many of us would like to frequent. Hanover, there's a town hall, this Herrenhauser brewery. We've kind of talked to them, and I think the Farming Smarter crew, anybody that goes, will be going to this brewery for a tour. So if you join us, that's great. If not, that's okay too. In the Frederick Wilhelm Quarter, you'll find all kinds of different dining options and pubs, and Old Town Quarter that has traditional pubs and restaurants. So really good food and obviously really good beer. In Wolfsburg, as I mentioned, we'll do the VW factory tour, and some may know, some may not, but obviously the VW brand owns more than just the VW brand, which I didn't know. They own things like Bentley, Lamborghini, Skoda, Audi, and Porsche, so there's a pretty big factory there. And the one gentleman that we talked to said the 1-hour tour and 3 hours is not even close to enough time to see everything that you want to, so it sounds very exciting and interesting. And again, I mentioned the KWS facility, so we'll be touring there and then join the day in Einbeck. Einbeck, from what I've seen, actually has an extreme history of beer. In 1616, they recorded 742 civil breweries within the city. So there's some really exciting places to see there, obviously. And there's also a mustard mill that they've reopened, and you can go in and tour the different flavors and learn about mustard, which obviously fits. And again, everything is agriculture related, so if you have a really good accountant, you can write off this whole trip. The last part of our tour, we'll spend the 3 nights in Berlin, and this is basically just to sightsee and get an opportunity to visit some of the historical sites that are there. In the morning, the first day, we'll travel with the high-speed train, and these trains can go up to 300 kilometers an hour, so that in itself, I think, is going to be an exciting part of the tour. Then there are opportunities to join in additional tours with the same company or a different company if you choose that we've already organized the one tour with. And you'll see the Berlin Wall, the site of Hitler's bunker, the Brandenburg Gate. Again, I can't speak German very well, so there's a concentration camp that they have on the list of tours as well. And Potsiders Dam. And then, obviously, they have some exceptional pub there as well. Some other sites that you may want to take in, there's a TV tower, the town hall, this Ephraim Place, which was an 18th century building, and then this Knobloch House, which was built in 1760. So some culture, some historical sites, some good food and drinks, as well as some architecture and art. That's what you so choose. And obviously Berlin's nightlife is one of the most diverse and vibrant kinds in Europe. From everything that I've read, they don't actually have closing times on their nightclubs on the weekends. So the party starts on Friday and it doesn't actually close until Monday morning. So if you guys are up for that, they do have that opportunity. It's something you need to take in. And to finish all of it off, on the final night that we're there, we'll finish with the Berlin Brew House. And it's basically a traditional pub house. And the next day, basically, we'll say goodbye to the friends that you've made and to join in. One of the things that we've noticed on the trips in previous years is the camaraderie that develops between the participants, and that's one of the things that we've been told was really beneficial. You get an opportunity to talk to the neighbors that you may not have otherwise, and find out what they're doing on their farms, and maybe get some ideas for what you can do on your farm. And if you have any questions, talk to the guys in these pictures from our previous trips. They had a good time. Down to the nitty-gritty. We tried to keep the price as low as possible. Obviously, we want as many people to come as can. Again, I mentioned it's a tax write-off, so all you got to do is talk to your accountant. So it's $3,995 per person, and it includes your flights, the accommodations, the few dinners that I mentioned as group ones, all your breakfasts, your hotel stuff, all that stuff. The only thing that's not included is the domestic travel, so any time that we're in one of the towns like Braunschweig and you want to go to Hanover or to one of the other towns, there's the train that you have to take. So those are not costs that we've counted on, so those will be all on your own. And all your lunches and the other dinners that I haven't mentioned. So that's it for me. If you have any questions, we are taking registrations starting today. And I think the final day to get your deposit in, which is only $500, is the 27th. And then final payment by September 1st. I have the registration forms if anybody wants to sign up today.
Well, maybe join me in thanking Mike and Jamie. So you notice March 27th dawn, $500 before you leave the room.